Okay, but listen me, no way. I won't believe in that because I just decided to trade my listen practice to my speaking again this time, and I do that deliberately because I've always been clear and I'm still clear that one should spend like this ratio of time as for learning point. Let's say you should spend like 80% of your time that you practicing doing like listening practices, just maybe drilling some grammar points, possessing your vocabulary, and you should do 20% of all your entire time that you're doing your English comprised of like I said, listening practice, drilling grammar points, getting aboard new vocabulary things, and you should spend only like 20% of your time that you do in your English, and for major part is for that amount of time. Up to 80% you should spend it while doing your speaking practices, because even not even just only through speaking you become more really fluent and more productive speaker, and more just not only speaker but a listener, and your general apprehension of English language becomes more deep and sophisticated and more profound and in depth, I should say, in all the ways, and with growing to the highest points it becomes even impeccable. And I'm not there yet. I'm not there. I'm so regretful about that, but I'm on my way there. And let's do what I do. Let's actually I brought for today the thing about puma or cougar, and I was following none longer than yesterday. I watched video on YouTube called washing puma or washing cougar, and the video actually, as author said, was divided into three sections. The first episode it's called washing. The second episode that I haven't watched yet, that's called the rinsing, and the third episode is definitely called rinsing, as relating to those stages where you use your washing machine or you wash like using your hands, and just having all those stages of the washing processes. Washing itself, rinsing and rinsing I should say. And I only watched the first section, first part of that video, of that footage, and that's called washing puma. And there was some marriage couple, I guess, and she was filming the episode, and he was washing that cougar itself, and that cougar sits in a bath, and pretty nicest cougar. I've never seen so quiet and calm and abiding puma cougar, I should say. I've never seen that abiding animal, and that so just calm and peaceful and nicest creature ever, I should say. And that puma sits there in the bath, and that guy he kind of showed up his face in the frame of that shooting process, and only a few times within the shooting session, and that wasn't the point, his face. The point was that cougar who was sitting, he was sitting, I guess it was him or she or whatever, it was sitting there in the bath, and just calm, full of calmness, and just relishing being in the hot water, not in the hot water but in the warm stream of water. And that puma sits there, and the dirt comes down out of his fur, and it goes down, it's like becomes the scum on the lower part of that bath, and scums became bubbles, and that scum became bubbles, and bubbles more and more and more, and more dirt comes in there, and that puma still sitting there with nothing doing, only wigging with its tail. And the interesting episode about whirling with its tail was that that guy noticed the fact that that cougar whirled its tail and or wigged its tail. Correct me, natives, if I'm kind of doing mistakes here. And that puma was doing tricks with its tail, and just maybe that guy, he separately, he washed, he cleaned the cougar's tail, and that was the separate section of that very first episode. And interesting stuff that is related to that cougar also is that puma kind of started to try to munch the borders of the bath itself, metal made ones. And the girl was she was filming the episode, and she was telling out of the frame. She was telling out of the frame that her don't do that messy, don't munch the bath, don't bite it. And that puma kept biting the borders of that bath, and nothing happened. And as you realized, because that bath was metal made thing, and nothing could happen to it, and because of that, poor animal trying to cause some damage to that metal made bath, and nothing happened. Actually, it's pretty obvious thing, right? If it's metal made, what could happen to that bath? Nothing, literally nothing. And there was continuation that goes as follows: that puma is still sitting there, and that guy, the owner of that cougar, he's trying to attract puma's attention by asking some weird questions like, what about to be doing, Messi? What are you thinking of? What are you doing with your tails? Whatever, all this stuff related to animal things, and just it's been pretty soothing and relaxing stuff to watch. I've been just completely slammed all day, enough to follow in all my issues, completing them. I was kind of laying down on my nicest and most comfortable armchair ever, and I was laying down almost leaned back, but my feet was dangling off my nicest armchair, and I often put my feet on the table. I know that sounds pretty just not so good as it could be, but I'm following the American lifestyle, and I've kind of never been kind of guy who might be following someone's steps, but I kind of try to feel myself over relaxed, relishing whatever happens around me at certain moments of my life. Let's say yesterday I was laying down, nothing doing, watching stuff with the feet on the table. Literally, I'm telling you, that was very relaxed and comfortable posture that I took, and I was laying, I was watching, I was just reminiscing times when I was more stupid guy, and I was doing even more harsh stuff than something related to putting your feet on the table. It's not something bad thing to say, you know what I'm saying? And it's not at all. And I've done a lot more harsh things in my life. I wouldn't share here because it's not a proper moment for doing that. And maybe someday I will, and we'll see how it goes. Anyways, that's the point of today's video. I wanted to say and to familiarize you with what I wanted, and I made that. I made this attempt, and I kind of carried off. I was successful at that, wasn't I? And again, it's on your own like, and on your consideration, and on your. It's for you to just maybe get it or live it. I mean, this stream of consciousness and my storytelling thing of today. Let's say I shared with my stuff about cougar, and I will be doing that as long as I will follow that channel called I am Puma. I am Puma. I'm so just fucking excited and even exhilarated about hearing that phrase. I am Puma. I'm like a puma myself. Like I'm sitting in this weird cap. I'm wearing Connie outfit and I'm just doing what I'm doing, what I want to do, and that's the main point of my general existence here. That's why I was put on this planet for, and not only doing these ramblings, but also like doing something meaningful in my life. And I definitely do, and I'll be doing that regularly if I don't die in the nearest, let's say, middle term future, or just long run I should say. Anyways, we'll see how it goes. My life track, my ability, my skills, and I'll be expanding my skills. As for my skills, I'm already on it. I'm just polishing them, and I'm diving into new waters, and I'm just kind of trying to make my way there, and to hearing my little voice coming from my inside, what track to follow, what direction to take, what steps to undertake in order to my lab. And that's the stuff that boils in my mind, I should say, and it's cooking right now, I should say, and it's preparing itself for reveal into the this world, I should say, for you guys and girls, little gals, and coolest views ever. And that's you who pulling me up and just fostering me even in a way by following this channel, and not forcing, but convincing me from with your attitudes to make these ramblings of mine and to continue to work on it. And I'll be on it, I promise. If I don't die, I will. And that's definitely it for today. I've kinda overloaded your nice minds with this fluff, and just keep doing what you're doing, and just never mind what I do here, I'll be doing that definitely if I don't die. That's it for tonight, and be just cool is all. And take care. See y'all. Bye.